I know. I have not done a video in a while, and I'm going to do better with that and get you caught up with what's been going on at the Charles Hammond House. We're now entering the cottage. So here we have the main room of the cottage. And when we had gotten here, this was actually the space where you're now seeing the kitchen was the bedroom, and were in the little living room, and there was a larger room on the back side that you had to go through that opening there. There was a door there that went to the back side. Well, we moved that door to the right and make it a little bit easier with the flow that we were trying to accomplish with this small space. This is a fireplace that came out of my mother's house that we had restored to use as a new fireplace. We did see a burn mark on the floor, and there was what appeared to be an opening in the subfloor for a hearth. So we put this back in that space. Oh, that's actually turning on the heat. Trying to turn this on for, there we go. So that's just a nod to that era. And would have had something like a pot belly stove. We saw a very small footprint of a fireplace or chimney on the side of the house. And the paint had a really small, slender negative of where the chimney was against the house, and they had to paint around it. But of course, this is all electric. We did bring in, what I tried to bring in was some appliances. Again, these are all full-size appliances, even for a small space. Well, my thinking is that, you will probably use this space to help support an event outside. So we have the capacity to have a full-size oven, range, ice maker, refrigerator. And I wanted something to kind of give you that dark look and still go with the granite that we brought in here. I was going to go with a butcher block, but I wanted something more durable because I still wanted to use the copper sinks that we had. This was the last one that we had left over from the main house that fit in that space really well. But you can see the actual rough hewn beams. These are structural. This is what's holding this building square and together. It was covered up under the sheetrock was covering, so we did not know this space was up in there. When we took it all down, we saw the cut marks. So, yeah, where they actually cut it from the tree. And I said, well, we definitely have to show this. And so we made the decision to go ahead and open it up all the way to the top. So you can get an idea of the space. And since it's such a small space, I didn't want you to feel cramped in here. I did want you to feel comfortable. So we did take the risk and went all the way up to the top there and put one of our ridge beams in place. There was not one there. Really, they were those they were about 4x6s, and they were just angled into each other. This is now the bedroom. And again, we kept with all wood inside here. I wanted this to be a little rustic, but at the same time comfortable. I was thinking this is probably where the groom would hang out and his guys, or the ladies just want to come out here and escape. It's really quiet to be on the main road. This actually is quieter than the main house. So we're going to have to go and do some engineering inside the main house to get it this quiet now that we know we can make it happen on off of Martintown Road. But we insulated this structure as much as we could. Even the interior walls insulated, kind of knocking down that transmission of sound. And we're going to use some of this on the barn, the techniques, to try to make it quiet. Okay. And we took a chance here using the wood siding. We put a marine grade coating on it to help protect it. But so far so good. We haven't had, and this is not a high volume place. So particularly in the cottage right now. So if it ever becomes a problem, then we'll do something else. But right now, it's holding well from the activity it has had. We went with 2x8 that we had Scott Millwork put a tongue and groove on it for us again to give us that. I wanted to have that heart pine look. That's the stain color that we tried to use. And I knew that going to the store that they had this siding available. I really wanted the yellow pine. This is the white pine. But what I was really happy about that it had that knotty pine look to it that helped tie it into the floors. And so I thought that gave it a little bit more of a cabin, up in the mountains type of feel. I love going up into the mountains in the cabin, so this space is really special to me. The ceiling here, those are old heart pine boards there. Those are individual boards. That's not a sheet. And we had to repurpose them and bring them into this space. They were actually going to go out onto the porch, but we brought them inside here. We did make the decision to use the new wood inside. So on this particular board, it has two faces. It has this smooth face here, and then it has the beaded face. So this is the same board. It just flipped around, as a matter of fact. So it's the same board. So what we decided to do to give it a little bit differentiation of the wall and the ceiling, to just turn it to the beadboard side on the ceiling. I was a little worried about so many lines together, but no one has complained about it. And so no one's complaining about it, so I'm happy about that. But this is the kitchen. Our living room space, of course. Babs and Phil donated that table back to the house, so we found a nice space for it inside the cottage here. And this is an original trim piece. This is what gave us an idea that we were looking at a very old structure. As you can see here, it was on the very edge. So it's the outside corner there. It was on the very edge, and this was typical of how in colonial times a structure like this was trimmed out. So this was the one that was remaining. I brought this inside. We just replicated this with new wood, and it's actually out there still, but we brought this piece on in. You can see how long and how it's weathered over the years. And that was pretty much almost close to a 2-inch piece of block of wood. This is another picture of the interior of the walls. This is this corner that I'm standing next to. And again, we saw those 45-degree jacks coming down on this corner out on top of those 12x12 seals, and we knew we were dealing with an old structure that was older than the 1940s. I originally thought this was the smokehouse because there was these beams had a lot of soot on them, and there was just one window over there. But I'm now thinking that there was just a fire in this space around this area, and it drafted that way. So you will hear me in my videos go from smokehouse to cottage, cabin, but right now I'm landing on cottage. So I wanted you to see this. I'm probably going to just come in here and do a still and show you more of a marketing piece, but this piece is to let you know how it was done. And this is a little collage of before and after pictures. So when you come visit the house, you can see it yourself. I hope you like it. This is a true restoration from the ground up. I mean, we tore this thing down to just the remaining studs that were substantial. I mean, we tore everything out of here and put this one back together. The only thing that was that we left was the electrical. We had to bring in new HVAC, and we had to redo the plumbing. They were on septic tanks. The house and the cottage. Well, the house was on sewer when I had gotten here, but we did uncover its original septic tank. But this structure was on septic tank, so we had to run a new sewer line, and pretty much where you see those cones out there. You can't see them from here, but they're in front of the barn. The barn is next. And that's how we do it, people.